Sup. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I want to, I do want to make a paint job and show you guys some plans that I got to make paint jobs a lot easier to make. Yes. Is it? Did I type in Steam? No way. Oh my gosh. No. No way. All right. Well, it's ruined. It's just ruined. Oh no. All right. So whatever. Um, I haven't done any development of the sorts at all because of school semester. And yeah, you made it to the Steam. Like what Rexy would said. Dude, that sucks. Holy crap. Okay, so I haven't done anything as far as like making new codes or like car skins go. No legacy development since 1.21. That was the last public release. But this one's almost done. I just have a couple of Bruiser ones left. And I want to talk about technical stuff that might happen, which is cool. So like one of the things that is, let me put some audio up, but one of the like things I've been most wanting to do is add arcade textures to the game, like actual like straight arcade rips, and I think I can actually do it now. And but the method is like so weird, but I think it's possible. So I don't know if I'm going to substantiate on that, but there's a certain method that I hypothesize about that I'll go into when I start streaming Special Edition, and I can explain it there. But it's really weird. It's a very not so efficient way to do it, but I think you could do it. But the way it is now, I can't do it 1-to-1, but I can get a really close approximation. Okay. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Let me see. Oh yeah, I see that. Well, the game is just in general really loud, but all right, we'll do that. Now, yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. Okay. So should I just hop in a? Might hop in a call a little bit later if you guys just want to like chat on the stream or something. But I feel like this is something I should be doing just to get more viewers and more people aware that people still play Rush. You know, it still feels like we're kind of a little small little corner of a corner in the game world, but all right, I'll just mess around for a bit. And then one of the other things I was working on was HUD elements being moved around, but it's hard to explain, but all that is kind of coded on top of each other instead of being individual things. And so if I mess with one, then I mess with all the others. So it's going to be a long time until I tackle that. There was one video that I remember. Oh, I can show you right now, actually. They're not too crazy. I can show you the new paint jobs right now. But basically, I got, let's see. I got this here. Is it loaded? Maybe it's not loaded. I did have the original Contender paint job, so I posted a community post like 10 months ago, and so that's gonna be in there. I haven't added it yet, but that's gonna be in there. And then I have a couple of Bruiser. Where's the car? I have a couple of these guys, and I think only the back. Or to pause it. Oops, a save state. Let me pause the. Wait, I just like completely ruined my thing. So I have the yellow Bruiser, the green one, or the 70s car, whatever. I have those two. I can't do the flame car, so that's what I wanted to make. Yeah, people have no idea what Rush is until they play it in the arcade, and then they still forget. right afterward. Something about it. So anyway, yeah, I have the contender for the Super GT, and then I'm not gonna pause it this time. I don't know what button I have mapped to pause, but I have that partially done. You can tell on the back it's a little bit different. And then I have this guy is done. This one's done. This one's done. I don't have the black one yet, and then the flame one we can't do, like I said. So I've tried to do it over and over again, and with the way the model is, it's not something that I can do without editing the UV basically, and I don't know how to do that just yet. But so I wanted to make one of these paint jobs on stream, so I'll just race around a bit and then I'll get started on that. Maybe I'll just do this, or we don't know. So yeah, so this was the car that was voted on like 10 months ago. So my idea was to do a red, white, and blue one instead of a flame one. And because there's billboards in the special edition tracks that talk about a red, white, and blue sort of patriotic bruiser car. But yeah, so as far as arcade textures go, I definitely can. So with my new method that I thought of, I definitely can do all the textures for tracks and possibly like menu stuff. But there's one reason why I cannot do car textures one-to-one just yet, but I can get an approximation. And within the context, it might be fine to do it that way, but it's a very convoluted method, and it's not at all efficient, and it has to do with changing the actual textures that are already loaded into the game, and just changing them in the RAM, and because the color space is pretty limited with a lot of them, like maybe it's like they're limited up to 16 colors, depending on the bitmap, or not the bitmap, the bitmap being used. So you use that, that's what you're leveraging, and you should be able to tell what the texture colors are. So anyway, that's the method, but I haven't even tried it yet, but I'm pretty sure it'll work. So that'll be actually really helpful for track 7 when I'm adding those textures in, because I want to. That track has a lot of really cool textures that aren't used in the GameCube game, so I will be able to rip those. Possibly the billboards too. I just thought about that. Those billboards that are in track 6, Dawn. Should be able to grab those too. In fact, I should probably make that a priority. Getting those done. And I might be able to do the, or I should be able to do, yeah, so anything that's not obfuscated by some sort of other texture on top of it. And so when you're driving in Rush 2049, the cars have some sort of reflective material, and so that's what's messing it up. And I've tried multiple ways to get rid of the reflective material, but no luck so far. But that's why the cars look pretty dark in Rush 2049 on the on arcade. And I'll go in depth about it a little bit later. This one's not done, but you can see the back of it's a darker color than the rest, so it's gonna be that color. I've been playing a lot of ROM hacks lately, just because it's a little bit easier than working on it. School's been pretty exhausting, so I just haven't really been going back to doing any of this. Like, I just want to, after homework, I'm just like pooped out. I just want to play video games. It'll be really cool when we can start moving objects around. That's something I'll have to look into. But switches, coins, those are all objects. Trains too, those are, I guess, considered objects. How have you guys been doing, by the way? I haven't even asked. I think, so the way that AI works is they're, yeah, so like you said, AI routes, AI paths. I forget what the string is called, but there's actually a menu option in this video game, or in this game. I think it's called drone paths or CPU paths, and so what they do is they record the path that they want the CPU to drive on, and if you knock a CPU out of the path, then it'll find the next closest path to latch onto. So I guess they're like predetermined, preloaded, maybe like 10 paths or so per track. I have no idea how many there actually are, but so because the cars do not go on shortcuts whatsoever, they changed those paths at some point, and at some point they just didn't want the cars using the shortcuts. The only reason I can think of why they would do that is because historically the cars have never done that before, unless they're very... Oh yeah, take care, man. Thanks for checking it out. I'll be going on for a few hours, so if you catch the stream a little bit later, you'll probably see a different game or the paint job editing, like I said. But yeah, so it's I think that's why they would do that, is because historically cars do not take the shortcuts, unless the shortcuts are very you know, some of them are a lot more easy to do than others. Some of them are just like right in front of you, like this. Like, I won't even consider what I just drove through a shortcut. Yeah, so I don't know why they got rid of those. It's a good question. It was cool to see the cars take a lot of the entry-level shortcuts, like in Marina. I'm writing down a bunch of video ideas for just some stuff that like people don't know. Like, I want to go over details about cars. I found out something about the Bruiser that I haven't shared yet, but it's really cool. It's the Bruiser did not come from Rush 2049, by the way. That's the hint. It did not, like, this actual car did not originate, like the car model did not originate from Rush 2049. It's from something else. So that's a detail I'd want to include in that video. And yeah, I just think it'd be a good idea to get some. It's tough because like there's a lot of things I want to do with the game, but I think exposure is like the right method right now, just to get, you know, more people interested in the game. And there's a lot of YouTubers that do make videos on Rush, but they don't really go in depth about it. But the videos are pretty good, mind you, from what I've seen. Usually reviews. We still don't know what that darn grading system does in the arcade games. Yeah, that blows that one of them was out, and you know, with old arcade games, that's just gonna happen. They're really fun if you're racing against a friend. Spence came in here and said the game is most fun when you're like trying to grab onto the wheel of the other driver and, and start messing with them outside of the game. That's pretty funny. Man, that blows though. It just seems like once an arcade has like 1 or 2 problems, like people just really start neglecting them, and then all of a sudden certain colors start going out on the monitor, and then certain buttons don't work. Oops. I haven't seen that. If it was Rush 1 on N64, yeah, that's a... You have to be a real... What's the one where you like hurting yourself? Is it Masochist? I don't know. I think it's Masochist, but you have to be one of those in order to play that game in specifically. It is good though. Like that game is really cool, but I've never beaten Rush 1 or 2. Like I've never gotten all the coins or the keys. I've never gotten all the keys or the cans. I've never unlocked all the content in either of them. But I've done it for this game like 4 times. At least all the coins. So that's an idea. Something about that game is just it's just kind of a chore. I feel like that game has like when they were making it, they were self-aware about like how like ridiculous it was with especially with the music. Like Zethno is such a weird song. Like some of those songs in there that play, they're just really weird. They set up a very strange atmosphere when you're driving around. Yeah. That's typically what I think. That's like the story mode approach. Or like if you would just want to beat the main. I don't know what you want to call it, but like I guess like the main story. I guess I don't know, but yeah, that seems like that's it. Just circuit mode. That's the problem. That's actually a huge problem I have with these games. Is there's not an actual direction for how to progress. Yeah, you have to be really careful about not going over your time. And I remember like there's some keys in Pappy Land. I keep saying coins. There's some keys in Pappy Land, and there might be some other tracks where you have to go on these like loopy loops and drop in the right spot. Those are always the hardest, where you have to do a loop and drop right in the middle of it. I'll do a different car, I guess. Yeah, those games are brutal. 2 is a little bit easier, but I think the coin oh my gosh, I think the key placements in 2 were a lot harder than 1, I think. Oh, wait, I made it. I got up here. This is a so if you guys aren't aware, this is an area that was removed, quote unquote, in the final game. In the beta though, you can come up here and I'll just give you like a little tour. Hopefully it doesn't. Nah, it might abort. I think it'll abort me. So what it is there's a ramp here in the beta that goes up like this. I don't know if you can see my cursor. There's a ramp that goes up onto this building. So you can take that ramp and drive on the surface, on the roof here, and you can continue driving. You drop down here, I believe. So here's where the coin is, the gold coin. And then, so instead of this being blocked off, and instead of this building here being here, you could actually continue on this roof and drive off this building, right, like where this edge is, and you can go here. you can go above this sign, and there's actually collision here, which is why that's why this whole area is modeled pretty well. So you can actually go here. Look, you can see there's details here too, in case you were to drive here. So you can go here, and then this wouldn't be here, or this would be here, but you could drive through it, and you might still be able to. But anyway, so that's where this is. This is a very hard area to get on top of in the final game, but you can do it. There's no coins. And I recall Blake did it first try. Oh, shoot. Alright. Yeah, 2 had a practice mode with a timer, and I think you can get them during the races, too. Wait, no, never mind. That's redundant. Of course you can get them during the races. Yeah, so the practice mode is what you used to get through all that. What other games do you guys play? I'm curious, because there's not a lot of... For me, I don't really actually play a lot of racing games, with the exception of Mario Kart and Burnout games, but I don't actually play racing sims. Oh, what's up, Supra? Welcome to the stream. I want to join Discord voice chat when I'm making the car texture. I think that'd be fun. Do you guys have any questions I could help with that? But yeah, so I'm curious as to like what games you guys play, because the racing part of Rush isn't what like catches me. It's not what like keeps me playing. I think it's the platforming and the exploration stuff is why I like the game so much. And so my favorite games are I like the Rareware games. I like Pikmin, Metroid, and I guess the main theme of those games is that they're pretty cryptic in their approach. Like they don't tell you where to go exactly. They just kind of drop you in. And Rush does the same thing, where they just drop you in. And Trackmania. Yeah, I've seen some gameplay of it. So that game reminds me of Rush. It reminds me of this game especially, taken to an extreme level. But all of the characters are removed. Like all of the track... Well, there's track design to it, but there's not any theming going on. Like, the atmosphere is completely removed. And I do have one of them, and I've tried to play it. I guess I can figure it out. Let's see which one it was, actually. Yeah, they're really fun. They're really fun on a first playthrough. There's a few games that I wish I could experience for the first time again, and Rush is definitely one of them. The Pikmin games and Metroid games for me are like that too. Or I was just kind of taken aback by, like, blown away by these games. So I have, let's see, Trackmania Valley is what I have. That's the only Trackmania I have. I don't know if that's an expansion or if that's a base game, but I just wasn't able to play it. Trackmania Turbo. Okay, I'll check that out. I'll get it on Steam if I can. My end goal would be to be able to make custom levels for these games. I think I'd have a really fun time making levels, either on stream or off stream, and track design is like one of the main things I'd preserve. But yeah, so. You're crazy for playing DK64 randomizer. Yeah, I've never touched Revolt, but I remember people were gloating about it. DK64 though is great. I know a lot of people complain about it, just because of how much stuff there is in the game. I've personally never had a problem with it, but to each their own. Banjo-Tooie I thought was really cool too. See, Tooie gets a lot of complaints about being too complex. But that game was like the perfect amount of remembering you'd have to do for me. So I wouldn't take notes or anything when I'm playing the game, but there is a lot of things that happen throughout that you just have to keep in the back of your mind. Like, oh, I saw like this ice cube guy fell into the lake, and so then you have to go to a different level and figure out where that lake is. It's like little things like that. Like I like games like that that really make you think. But some people just didn't like that approach where you do one thing in one world and then that would affect another world, because I guess it's pretty easy to forget what does what. Yeah, I like the maps in DK64 also. Those are cool for multiplayer. There's a few of them with walls that you can walk through with some secret areas. So I like finding those. Build and Race on Wii. Build and Race. I've never heard of it. Who made it? Oh, that's nice that you can change characters like that. That's cool. That's the one gripe that people have with the game, basically. Like, if you could just change characters on the fly, then a lot of people's complaints about the game would be alleviated. But the whole point of the game is to commit to one Kong or one character and do as much as you can with them. So at that point, it's like, okay, well, you might as well just play as one character. But yeah, that's cool. It's cool. It's I don't even know what you'd equate it to. It's just a third-person shooter, basically. Your gun's the primary weapon. If you don't want to use your gun, you can start using your melee attacks. There, I'll follow the thumbnail. I'll use the same car. I wonder if I do wonder if I'd be able to beat Supra in a speedrun. Beginner circuit. Let's see. Yeah, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Oh man, love those games. Super Runabout SF Edition. I've never heard of that. I'll have to look into it. Let me type that in right now, actually. Where is it? Where's my Super Runabout? That sounds like a weird Rush mod. Just by the title. Oh, that looks cool, actually. I'm not gonna watch gameplay of it, but I didn't know that this game even existed. And I have a Dreamcast. Cool. Boy, this game looks really cool, actually. Sonic Adventure is one of those games that I can just go on and on about. Great. Really cool game. With the storytelling. And then Adventure 2 is also great. Ride a pig through Sims. Is that what you can do in that game? You can just ride a pig? Is that like an unlockable vehicle? That's cool. Yeah, okay, so I do appreciate that Rush does take itself seriously to some extent, because like there's games on N64 like what is it, Top Gear Overdrive, and you can play as like a hot dog car. Like there's stuff like there's like a taco car in that game. So I do appreciate they didn't go too crazy with these games. They did take themselves pretty seriously. I like how there's no I mean, there's kind of a 90s edginess to it, but not really. Cruisin', that series is definitely reminiscent of the 90s more so than these games. These games feel pretty timeless in comparison. So it's something to appreciate. I don't know if a pig would be a good vehicle for a Rush game. It'd be pretty slow, if anything. You wouldn't be able to do these jumps. Let's see if I can do this. I have no idea how to do this jump. Rush the Rock. Yeah, that's like the quintessential 90s, right? Well, actually, I disagree. I think that I always thought that Daytona was a really good racer, even though there's only what, like 3 tracks. I always thought Daytona USA was up there, possibly better. What blows me away is how popular Cruisin' was, but maybe it's because it was really old. I think if Rush was the first to come out, then that would have been seen as better. Ridge Racer 2 is pretty good, right? I've never played them, but the arcade... Or no, I'm even thinking of Outrun. Is there an Outrun for arcade? Alright, you guys can grill me if I'm getting all these details wrong. I actually have no idea if there's Outrun on arcade. Yeah, I feel like Daytona was Sup PK. The one with the most 90s feel to it, to me, is out of all the arcade racers that I've played, Hydro Thunder is a top 3 there. I don't know if it's number 1, but with the way the announcer yells at you to go, and with the way the cars are named, that's 90s stuff. But yeah, Rush the Rock is... You know what? You're right. Rush the Rock is pretty close to that. Oh, we can finish like this, by the way. Yeah, these games do kind of yell at you a bit too. I think that's how you measure how 90s a game is if it yells at you. It's the... You have to compare it relative to the other games, and so whichever game yells the loudest at you. I've never played the Mickey Speedway game, unfortunately, but I know that's up there. Diddy Kong Racing's really hard. I remember that detail, and it's been a while since I've touched that game. But I remember being stuck in the progression. I couldn't unlock the last world. Unforgivably hard. Is that the word right? Yeah, I agree with you, Josh. The soundtrack is definitely 90s. Animal Crossing is cool. I've never played Super Monkey Ball, but I know I've seen a lot of gameplay of it, and I feel like I'd like it. I just didn't play it, unfortunately. Phantasy Star Online. I got a story about that game. This is a bummer. So one time in Blockbuster, I was young and I was with my mom, and I was asking them if they had Melee on GameCube, and the guy there that was working said, no, we don't have Melee, but I have 5 other games that I can sell you. And he was just trying to get rid of these games that he personally owned, I guess. He had 5 games that he wanted to sell me. And so I said yes. And what these 5 games were, I think these were the 5 games. It was Pikmin for sure, Pac-Man World 2 for sure. I think it was also Star Wars Rogue Squadron, Metroid Prime, and Phantasy Star Online. It was those 5 games, and I think he charged $5. He's either $5 or $7, and he also gave me 2 memory cards, and I still use those memory cards. I don't have those games anymore, like the original copies that he gave me. And my mom thought that Phantasy Star Online and Metroid Prime were too violent, so she gave them to a neighbor. So that's the story. Got stuck on Wizpig. Maybe? Is that the race in like the medieval forest zone? I think it was the races that I was stuck on, where you have to race them again. I think that's what I was stuck on, was you had to race these guys for a second time, and it was really hard to do that. I believe that's what it was. So that Blockbuster employee is the one that showed me Pikmin and got me to love that game. So I do recommend that. If there's any recommendation I can give you guys, it'd be Pikmin 1. 2 is also really good, but 2 is only, you can only appreciate that game if you've played 1. No, I've never done that. No, I don't think I was even there. I think I was just stuck trying to race the bosses a second time. Like, I remember the octopus guy was hard. 1,000 hours in Phantasy Star Online. What type of game could that game be? Where you play? It's got to be like isn't it an offline RPG? So there's just a lot of grinding. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it says online on it, duh. Of course it's online. I think this, like, area they had built up that you can't do anything around. They just abort you for trying to check it out. It's been a while since I got stuck in an RPG like that. I don't know if I want to touch Phantasy Star Online. It might be good, but it might be too good. And then I'm hooked. And then no more rush mods for me. No more, because I got hooked. The beginning of my stream, it said Steam soon. So that was actually some sort of calculation by me, alluding to the fact that I'd be checking out Steam soon to look up Trackmania. Oh, really? Okay. That might be from my stream just being crappy. Yeah, drop frames I have a bunch of dropped frames. Maybe I should lower the bit rate. Let's see. Maybe I'll lower it to like 4,000. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have the best internet. At some point, I do want to upgrade to something better. It's just the area that I live in is not the best for internet. I could always restart the router too, which is that's kind of like blowing on the cartridge on an N64. Like it shouldn't work, but it just does. It's the same thing there. Like for some reason, if I yank out the cord on my router and give it like a minute, it'll work really well for the next hour or two. So I could always do that. But yeah, Starlink's looking real nice. So maybe that'll be the next thing I get. Maybe I can look for some of these coins. All these areas, it's so funny that all these areas are still in SE. Like they kept them in. Oops. Yeah, that's nice. I'm not even in the country. I'm well, I guess technically where I live is considered rural, but I'm not even in the country really. Like I'm in the city, but it's a mobile home park, and so for some reason we can't get AT&T or like whatever the good internet is. We can't get it, but everyone else around us can get it, so it's pretty frustrating. You just gotta make do with what you got, I guess. Is there a coin here? Isn't there? Oh, there's not. Yeah, that's the way to go, fiber. For sure. All right, here's my invented shortcut. No, I have to do it. It's not invented, but this is like the worst. I don't even think it's a time saver. This shortcut. I haven't done it in so long that I just can't pull it off. Three times the charm. Yes! It doesn't save time. It's so bad. And then here, I think if you just... No! Oh, that was it. You have to go, like... You have to go 95% of the top speed in this game. I love showing people that shortcut. Yeah. It's a very risky shortcut in huge quotes. I don't think you're supposed to be able to do that, but you can do it. I'll try to pull it off again. There's no reliable way to do... There's like a bump. So, like, you can do that pretty easily. But there's this bump here. And I don't think there's a reliable way to actually do it without slowing down. I've tried to hug the left wall, the right wall. No! See, that was too slow. There's like a certain sweet spot where you can actually get in there. Alright, here we go. Nice. Okay, that's fine. Then here... No! I'm just going barely too fast. I don't think there's a way to move it either. But what you can do is go to the left and then just go back on the main road. I think that's faster anyway. Oops. Thanks, invisible wall. I'll show you guys this one too. This one's not a shortcut though. This is it's a shortcut to the void is what it is. Let's see if I can do it. Oops. Did not do that right. No. It takes a little while to get the hang of all the shortcuts. There's a bunch of them. Once you get them down, though, they become pretty easy. It's just repetition. This whole game is repetition. Can I get in there, please? It's really fun, yeah. It looks cool. It's like a spoiler on a Civic, you know. It looks cool. Is it practical? Not really. Might get, yeah. That guy was coming. Okay, come on. All you gotta do, as soon as you touch that wall, it boots you. There we go. All right. See you guys. I got a lot of catching up to do. I don't think I can beat him. Once level editing, if that ever becomes a thing, I got a lot of courses to go through, and it's probably something I'll pay someone else to help out with, but yeah, if we can start editing the geometry of these levels pretty easily, I'd make so many shortcuts. Here, for example, it's like a no-brainer. Come on, you can't go down there. It'd be really cool to expand these levels. Uh-oh. think that exists. Oops. That's a stream health. Seems like it's been less dropped frames. How do you do those? How do you do what? How do you do what? You can do it here too. Can I get out of here? You can. Yeah, I actually beat that game. I 100%ed it on GameCube. Sonic R. Cool game. Once you get supersonic, it's laughably easy, but it's a cool game. The Tails doll is kind of creepy. Yeah. I actually remember that game pretty well. I remember there's like a robot you can get. Don't remember how you get all of them, but I just remember you have to get all the emeralds in these like doors. You have to go through these doors and somehow, like if you had enough rings, I think you can go through them. Oh, that's cool. I've never touched Saturn, so know nothing about that game, that system. Never touched it. Yeah, that's the song in the first level. Can you feel the sunshine? Here, I'll show you this secret area too. Supersonic Racing. I think that was the last level. Or maybe that was the theme song. I forget. Maybe it was both. I think it was both, wasn't it? It's been since middle school for me. I'm in my mid-20s now. Secret area. No. Do they hurt? I don't remember the controls being painful. Whoa. I remember the complaint though, but I just don't. What were they? Wasn't it like driving a car? It's not platform controls. I thought it was just driving a car, like car controls. Okay. There we go, secret area. What's up here? What's up that ramp? Nothing. That's right. What's up, Patrick Star? Yeah, well, to be fair, that's kind of every Sonic game. The soundtrack's always really good, and then that's always the silver lining to playing those games. It's like, at least the soundtrack's pretty good. Right. Yeah, that's the expectation. Is like it should be a platformer. It should control like a platformer. Yeah. Now, okay, I got the question. This is gonna start the wars. Sonic Adventure 1 or 2? Which one is better? What's the better game? No, it didn't. Did it? I just took a bite. Now, I always thought that 2's level design was really good, but it ruined the whole point of 1, which was the storytelling. I did not like the storytelling of 2. And I thought the edginess to 2 was kind of over the top. Like if I were to show my parents one of those games, if I had to, which I would never do it. Weird analogy, but if I were to pick one of them, I think it'd be 1. Yeah, I think so too. I think okay, so 2 had really cool stages, but 1 stages played with the environment really well. A lot better. And also 1 had this cool thing going on where different characters would share the same stages, but they'd go into different areas. Now the gameplay the gameplay of 1 arguably sucks. It's very robust, and you know, they never brought back the Big the Cat sections at all. But 1 has a lot of charm to it that 2 lost to me. Yeah, so you can play. So Sonic gets to play every single level except for the Hot Shelter. That's the only level he can't play. And there's 11 stages in the entire game. He gets to play 10 of them. But yeah, that's it just didn't try to be super edgy also. Shadow's I don't even know what he says. Yeah, I do too. Like when I'm playing 2, I have a lot more fun with 2, and like the Chao Garden is like an entirely different thing, but 2 does the Chao Garden so much better. The Bio-Lizard fight is super cool. I liked that fight. Oops. I wonder why they tried to get rid of all that interconnectivity though, because 1 was really special because of that. You'd even see the other characters in the world. You see where they are in their story as you're progressing through your own characters. I thought that was so cool. No hub worlds at all either. Sonic 2 is just, or Sonic Adventure 2 is just levels back to back. Now I really like the classic Sonic games too. All of them. CD's all right, but 1 through 3 and Knuckles are really good. Spark the Electric Gesture. I've played the other one, Freedom Planet, which is kind of Sonic inspired, and I've heard of the Electric Gesture, Spark the Electric Gesture. I've heard of that game. I've never seen gameplay of it or anything like that, so I'll have to give it a try. Mania was the last Sonic game I played. It was awesome. I'll have to check out Spark. Spark the Electric. Just yeah, they're good. If you haven't touched Mania, definitely do it because it plays really good. It's a really good homage to the old games. Very good game. Yeah, okay, I kind of agree with you there too. Like the hub worlds do kind of suck, but it's also they could have done a lot more with them. Like the potential is there, and so I think they the developers had your same line of thinking, where you know they just kind of were they weren't the fun part of the game. So let's not refine it. Let's just get rid of it in 2. Sonic Adventure 2. Yeah. Yeah, the Knuckles levels, the gem hunting levels, whatever you want to call them, they're made to be a little bit longer into. I think that's because you could use the computers to give you a hint instead. Dang, dude. Man, it's wild how many games that all of us have all played. So, I guess this goes back to my main question that I first asked when I asked all of you guys, like, what games you liked. I just want to see where the overlap was. You know, if you liked Rush, then what else do you like? So it's cool to see that. We played a lot of the same games for the most part. Oops. Your message got all messed up there. I don't know if that was you or if that was someone else. YouTube bots. The Tail, yeah. Best Sonic song. Okay. Oh. Good question. All of you guys can answer it too. There's so many songs to pick from. Like when I listen to music on my own, just for homework, and I do put on random Sonic song, like what is it? What do I listen to? This answer is so obscure, but I like the this is like, I don't know if I'd say this is my favorite, but I've listened to this pretty frequently because it's relaxing, but Sonic 3D Blast, the Saturn version, the what's it called? Rusty Ruin stage. I think it's Act 1 that I like. It's really relaxing. But I don't even know if that should qualify as a Sonic song. It's so obscure, and I don't think like an original Sonic song artist wrote that song. I think it was like someone else they outsourced to. Dive Into the Gravity. I've never heard that one. I love. Okay, funny you mentioned Sonic Riders, because that game is awesome too. I don't know about Zero Gravity. I think they kind of casualize it, from what I heard. But the first game is really cool and has some nice soundtracks too. Songs. If you talk to Tikal. Oh yeah, that's I forgot that's what the orb was. Yeah. Yeah, the little orb thing will tell you where to go. It'll be like this way, and then it'll start going there. Sonic team from downtown's near the airport. They were partying too much. That's funny. What? That's so weird. Huh. Is that why the games started to suck after a while? Like I don't think Heroes was all that good. Valanova from Sonic Rush. That's that one guy. Sonic Rush was composed by, what's his name? Hideki. I don't know what his name is. I know his music though from the. He's got that specific style. Like as soon as you hear the song, it's like 50 different samples at once. You know it's him. What's that games? Jet Set Radio. All the songs sound the same. Like you can just tell it's him doing it. That's cool. Yeah, I liked a lot of those songs in Sonic Rush also. Bridge Zone. I bet I've heard that song before because I think I used to play those games. Yeah, Naganuma. Okay. Yes. That guy. He looks up. We found, I think when we were looking through all the sound libraries, we found all the samples that he would use for those games. I think I have the one on my my Linux computer. I have most of those libraries, and so I can start posting them. 5 want 4. Got a hot hand. Right. Yeah, he's funky. I don't know if he's an English speaker though, because he'll just play the most random English quotes. There's like no cohesiveness to it. Like I like the poker song, or the no, it's Craps, isn't it? I forget what it's called, but. And then so someone else mentions Game Gear. So I used to play those games because of Sonic Adventure 1 on GameCube, because they bundled those Game Gear games, and I think I've played the first one a lot. Yeah. He just used like the most random combination of words. It works pretty well. It's a sample mishmash of Isn't there one with Malcolm X or MLK? Or maybe it's not one of those. I just remember it was whoever said understand the concept of love. I remember that being, I don't want to say controversial, but it was just like he didn't understand what he took it from. Oh, he does? Okay, that's cool. Maybe he's guilty then. Really cool music. The if you guys never heard the Sega Saturn Sonic 3D Blast soundtrack, it sounds like if you know the band Enigma from the, it's like a 90s band, 90s like new age, uses a lot of samples. It sounds like that. It's just like really relaxing stuff. Did I fix this, by the way? I forget if I fixed this. Let's see. Oh, I did. It's fixed. I must have had this on a list somewhere, but yeah, it actually works now. In Mat 3, this didn't work normally. Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. That game is cool. It's a cool game. Oh yeah, Enigma's like super cool. So I know of Nights into Dreams. I've seen gameplay of it. I've never played Samba de Amigo. I know of Billy Hatcher. Yeah. So like you said, like a lot of people talk about Nights. I think my only exposure to it is does Sonic Mania have any bonus stages that's kind of like it? I think they do. Like Nights bonus stages. I've never touched the other games though, so guilty as charged. Oh, that's cool. I like rhythm games. I play Osu. So if I'm not playing Rush, I'm either playing Osu. That's like kind of my crutch game where if I'm bored, I'll just pop it in. And that's, I mean, you could argue whether or not that's a rhythm game, but I do like rhythm games as well. Loved Rhythm Heaven. Yeah, I think the soundtrack on Genesis for 3D Blast was better. I will agree with you there. I think it just fits the game more. It probably was the original composers. I don't know about composers. Yeah, they reused the very first song, Green Grove. They used that in Windy Valley, and then what other songs play throughout the game? I don't know if there's any others. Oh, I think the ice level. I think the ice level has the same song, right? Yeah, yeah. It's not a Osu is like the Black Cat of rhythm games. It's just a little bit too try hard. But I don't play any of the others like DDR, Stepmania. But the casual mini rhythm games I like too. Like Rhythm Heaven was really cool on DS. If you've never touched that game, it's really cool. Yeah, Twinkle. Oh, really? Oh, you're right. Yeah, it does use that. The it's like a lobby music kind of thing. And that same song, I remember it in 3D Blast. The same song is used in the intro, or like when you start up a game, it plays this like little like movie thing, and it plays that. Oh, that's cool. I can. I don't know if you're too familiar with Osu, but my I'm 5-digit in it, so that's not too crazy, but it's like respectable, but it's not like a. I've just put in too many hours. Yeah, I think one of my biggest regrets is never learning how to play DDR or Stepmania or any of those. And reading those games is really hard for me too. Burning Rangers. Never heard of that. Burning Rangers. Let me look at this up real quick. You guys have like told me all these really good games. Maybe I should start streaming some more games that I don't know about. That would be fun. I love the old anime style. It's they stopped doing that, like making games in this style like after the 90s, it seems like, unless it was some, I don't know if I'm describing it right. I don't know, it just seems like this wasn't the main, or this was more mainstream back then. That's cool. Track 4 Night. Oh yeah, yeah. How much is? I bet Burning Rangers is like a $300 game. I bet. Something about it like looks like it's a super expensive game. Just I know Saturn stuff is expensive. Let's see, Burning. Oh, I called it, dude. I immediately called it. So a PAL version is $250. Oh, it's like $1,000. Okay. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Wow. Brand new for $4,000. Wow. Well, that's why it's obscure. If you were wondering why. Future firefighting. Future firefighting. Let me see that. Is that another anime game? Anime style Saturn game? I shouldn't say anime game. That's like kind of disingenuous. Was it Burning Firefighters? Or not sorry, not Burning Firefighters. Future firefighting. For Saturn. I got a bunch of shirts. What system is it on? Game. Well, I can't find it. I found Real Heroes Firefighter for Wii. Oh my gosh. Oh, Burning Rangers. Sorry. Oh my god. Burning Rangers. Okay. Wait, hold on, no. Burning Rangers is the game I just looked up. Oh, you're saying that game is future firefighting. Okay, I see. I see, okay. I thought I was getting the titles all mixed up. Oops. Let's see, did I make it? Nice. Nope. Ah. Oh, that's cool. Up, left, right, or up, left, up, right. One. Oh, I see. Up, left, right. Okay. I see. No, I understood. I understood. You were just describing the game. Yeah, I was just reading it too fast. I was reading it way too fast, and so I was getting ahead of my own thoughts. I kind of want to play SE right now. I've been having more fun shooting the S word instead of just instead of just playing, or instead of modding. Modding's just like a completely different beast. Like you have to get into the right mind for it. Yeah, I agree with you that the best songs, I'm sure those songs from like an actual cabinet bring a lot of people. I mean, it's on a tracked mode after all, so I'm sure it just gravitates people toward the machine if those songs are playing. Non-VGM music, yeah, I actually do. Yes, of course. So I like a lot of, gosh, when I listen to stuff on my own, I still gravitate towards instrumental stuff. I have my CD collection's pretty small, but let's see. I guess the main ones I like. Massive Attack's first album's really cool. First and second album. Enigma, like I mentioned, is really cool. I like Future Sound of London. There's a CD I'm trying to track down called Earth Beats by various artists, and what it is, it's a Future Sound of London London album. But every single song is by someone else, but in reality it was all by them. They just went by different names for every single song. I don't know why. But yeah, F-Soul's cool. Rhythm game, oh yeah, rhythm game music. I know, I mean, Osu has shown me a lot of crazy songs. Freedom Dive, The Big Black, Blue Zenith. Like, I don't listen to stuff like that on my free time though, but I mean, they are cool songs. Camellia song, like, do you know the artist Camellia? There's a few others. There's another artist I'm thinking of. Kobario, I think a Japanese dude. I think Camellia is Japanese also. Yeah, so my music that I listen to, if I do listen to stuff, is usually the kind of instrumental. Dynamite Rave. If that's on Osu, I'll play it. There's let me see. You're gonna hear it boot up real quick. I'll play it for like 5 minutes, and then I'll go to SE. It's not ranked. So they don't have a good map of it, as far as I know. Wait, I spelled it wrong. Die. Yeah. That's gotta be it. Yeah, that's gotta be it. None of them are worth playing. They're all like 4 stars, which is like half the difficulty level that I want. Yeah, you probably heard it briefly. And then there's like some gore shit one. Like his own remix or something. Another game I play a lot is Binding of Isaac. But that's if we're talking about like game recommendations, I don't know if I'd recommend that one. It's a you have to be into that sort of game. Very RNG based. I don't play that much either, but at some point I want 100% it. Man, should I play? I think there's a few DDR songs that are on Osu. Is there a song on DDR called Delta Max? I don't know where that song is from, but I just know of that song. There might be a song on DDR called Phase 1 as well. I think that's a DDR song, but maybe not. Yes, okay. How did I know that? I subconsciously knew that, but I don't know where I picked that up from. Maybe it's like a it says like the source of the song. I don't know, but I'm trying to beat that song on Osu, and it's a tough one. Yeah, it's all capitalized like that too. Delta Max. I think there's another song called Para Max, and it's a 37-minute or 33-minute loaded on Saturn. That song I just said was a like almost 40-minute collaboration song of like all sorts of anime OPs. You ever played Loaded on Saturn? No, I've never seen it. Loaded Saturn. Let's see. Dude, you have to be making like at least 7 figures in order to afford an entire Saturn collection. Actually, this doesn't look too expensive. I mean, you could do it with a 6-figure salary. I've never heard of Loaded before. Looks interesting. I wonder what type of game it is. Let's see. I'm just gonna watch it for 20 seconds just to get an idea. Top-down twin shooter? Twin stick shooter? Yeah, that looks cool.
Bound to like something here, and I really appreciate it.
Paranoia. Do I know that song? Paranoia. I might know that one. There's another song that I'm thinking of that's what's it called? I don't think this song that I'm thinking of is from DDR though. What's it called? Illness Lilin, I think is what it's called. I think it's from a different arcade game. Oh yeah, I can see someone playing it. Oh, if this is on Osu, this would be a good song. It's a good fit. Jeez. Then the remake of the original Rust, you can have the option to play. Yeah, I think that makes sense because all the tracks take place. You know, if it's not going to be time of day, it should be at least weather conditions. It should be something, you know, just to give the tracks some more variety. Yeah, I agree with you. It's got to be something. I'm bummed that the arcade themed the tracks based off of weather. I don't think that was the right move to go. Even though you know, Dreamcast kind of illness. Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know if that's from DDR. I just know that song. It's crazy. I know that's from some sort of other rhythm game. But yeah, I think they made a mistake by theming all of the tracks based on weather instead of based on where they were, like they've previously done. Even though there wasn't necessarily any theming going on in the first game, I think it was just a missed opportunity. Because yeah, like you say, now you can't play the same tracks in other weather conditions. Oh, okay. Sound Voltex. I've never played that. I think I know what it looks like though, or like it's got a weird controller that you use. I got the trophy. Chris L almost beat me with 6 points. Oh, Chris. Well, now I want to continue playing either the arcade game. I could do the arcade game. Here, I'm going to do that actually. I'm going to do SE for a bit. Let's see. And I have the 60 FPS hack, so I don't have to star 60 every time the game gets booted up. Nice. And it fits pretty well. Nice. You'll be able to see it. Oh, you don't like that? Get that out of there. Okay. Yeah, they weren't thinking about that. Early game devs did not factor in game difficulty when they were making their own games. They didn't have anything relative to compare it to, you know. So they don't know what how hard or easy a game should be. Oh, no audio, huh? Oh no, wait, I do have audio. I did the weird thing where you can actually boot it up without the theme song. I don't know if you guys knew you could do that. But I think you hold the abort button down during the boot up phase.
You have selected track 4.
Yeah, it's a weird game. I gotta fix my inputs too. They're all messed up. I'm just turning it down real quick. Yeah, the 3D games, like primarily 3D games, aren't really meant for like, especially in Rush, where the geometry plays a huge role in how you drive. Like those that's not really meant for PlayStation. There's other cars too. I think Blake or someone else was unlocking all sorts of cars in that game. There might be like 8 unlockables or something crazy like that. And there's so there's the exclusive track, and then there's a stunt version of track 1 also. They did add a bunch of cool stuff to it. Oops. Is it over here? Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Steve is such a troll. Oops. Yeah, I think I was talking to like NES about this, but this game, I think objectively, even though there's some stuff wrong with it, the way SE rounds off the track selection is just perfect. Such a good game. It's 7 is such a good number for the amount of tracks where it's like you got enough variety, but it's small enough to where the devs could really focus on these tracks to make them good enough. Oh yeah, yeah, really good trees and skies and such. One of the I haven't done this yet, obviously, but one of the ideas that I had was making like a video of the track sequence for maybe an hour or 2 hours or something like this. So what you can do is boot up Cheat Engine and latch it onto the process, and you can search up the values. So if you want to get clean shots, what you can do is look up the strings. Let's see. So let's type in press gas. Let's get rid of press gas. So all you gotta do is delete it. Let's see. So now it won't say press gas, or it shouldn't. Let's see. Oh, really? What the heck? Am I getting it wrong? Should reflect it. Should work. Yeah, it's this game does a lot of things right. It's it's hard to break down, but what I was getting at earlier was the presentation itself hasn't aged. And even though it was a 90s game, they did make it in a pretty timeless way. You know, it's not like Cruisin' where you can tell it's reminiscent of the old days. It's still pretty, it holds up really well. And you have to, the skill ceiling for this game is very, very high. It's not like, I always draw the comparison to Cruisin', but I think the reason why I do that is just because of the sales. Like, Cruisin's just always been favored. But, you do have to put a lot of time learning this game. Like it does not hold your hand, which is really cool. I cannot find it. I just want to show you guys what you could do. I feel like this game respects you pretty well. There you go. See that? To start. This is just a string edit. It's really easy. But so free play. So there we go. That's how you get there. Steam soon. There you go. There's my there's my But yeah, so one of the things I wanted to do was just get rid of all that junk on the bottom, and then do a nice clean stream of, or not a stream, but like a recording of like maybe an hour or two of just footage of cars driving around like this. Yeah, I think the arcade, something must have happened because they were confident enough to make the game. And San Francisco Rush and Rush the Rock were really popular, and it must have been a lot cheaper than the Rush 2049 because I did not see a lot of Rush 2049s out there. All right, thanks for popping in. Thanks for checking it out. It was fun chatting with you. Yeah, like you said, Wave Race, perfect design, and it respects the player. Does not teach you how to play. It's like, it throws you in, it's like, all right, figure it out. First was N64 rental for original. This is what irks me a lot. People's impression of Rush 2049, like 75% of the time, 80% of the time, is based on either the N64 or Dreamcast game. And they're great games, but they do not represent the actual Rush 2049 experience all that well. The arcade experience. It's very different. The tracks themselves are set up differently in the arcade. And the collectibles and things that you unlock, your progress is so much different in the arcade. I think there's a lot more to discover in the arcade game than the N64. But the N64 and Dreamcast had stunt and battle. They had a bunch of other cool modes, but it was just it wasn't as refined as the arcade game. Yeah, that's what's cool. Is it's simple to play. You just press the gas and you get into it. Like it's just like, all right, what track do you want? What car do you want? You can play on normal handling if you want. Genius. Okay, this game doesn't even tell you that you're using normal handling until you start changing the handling. I don't know if you caught that, but it's very enjoyable when you start playing it. But it gets even more enjoyable as you start learning about the shortcuts and the other handling models. Really well done game, and it's a real shame that this game never took off as popular. What's going on? Where's my 60 FPS? There it is. Yeah, Barry's soundtrack kicks butt too. He did a really good job with that music. Oh, doing well. The free game. Yeah, okay, so I went to. Funny you mentioned that, the free game thing. I went to an arcade a few months ago, and I told the guy about it, and so I'm trying to get him. I gave him NES's contact info just to give him like a decently priced upgrade for his machines, and so I got like $5 worth of tokens from him, and I kept on winning the free game like over and over again. I guess the default settings are pretty easy. So I told him about that. He's like, "Wait, what? You got a bunch of free games?" It's like, yeah, all you gotta do is play really cleanly. So I ended up giving my tokens to some kid just because I had like $3 worth of tokens that I still haven't used, and I played probably 15 rounds of the game. I believe $5 or yeah, $5 was only good for 10 games. And I went well over that, and I still had quarters remaining. Yeah, Battle is really cool on Dreamcast. I mentioned this before, but there's another game called Spy Hunter. Someone brought this to my attention. I don't know who did it, but if you look up the Spy Hunter beta, it's they're reusing the Rush engine that they used for the console games, and they revamped the Battle Track 1. So they're driving around in that first battle track. It's a completely different game. It's called Spy Hunter, but they're using the same stuff from Rush 2049. And yeah, advanced handling is good. Extreme handling is a lot more bearable on the wheel than is a controller, like what I'm doing. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Where is it? Video options slider? Yeah, here we go. That's how you get the Force 120 FPS. I forgot about that. Force 60. Sorry. Spy Hunter. Yeah, look up Spy Hunter beta on YouTube. I'll put it in chat. Spy Hunter. It's really easy to find it. I should probably archive this footage and post it on my own channel. Where is it? Yeah, all right. It's this video right here. This is mind-blowing. It's like this is the closest to a Rush remake you'd ever see. Basically, Rush 2049 remake. And mind you, this is only the Dreamcast version and a battle track. Yeah, it's yep, it's that same one. This is like an earlier version that never got released, but yeah, that's it. So N64 has a lot of the charm that the arcade still has. Like, but for some reason, the Dreamcast, they changed a lot of the textures so that the tracks look a lot different. And the music too. If you like Barry stuff, then yeah, I could see why you'd favor N64. I would love to do a mod of the arcade game of Barry's soundtrack instead of Mike Henry's soundtrack. Just do a complete swap. Because we have all the stuff that we need for it, but the thing is that it wouldn't support surround sound like the arcade does, so I don't know if you'd be able to port it as easily. And also the file system has not been found out, or it's just not been cracked, so I don't know how easy it'd be to implement that right now. But it would be cool to do a soundtrack swap. It'd be really neat to do that. Now the cars are moving all fast because I got that mod. I always felt like the colors that they used for, like the make your own paint jobs. I always thought that was like super weird. Some of them are just like not great. Like the yellows weren't good. The greens weren't all that good. The blues, there's no light blue really. Am I the only one with that opinion? Yeah, true. It is optimized really well. And I still see YouTubers that aren't even, they don't really know anything about Rush. I still see YouTubers every now and then mention that Rush 2049 on N64 has the best graphics, or is up there with games with the best graphics. Oh, thanks. Thanks, John. I think you're Low Tide. Thank you, Low Tide. Okay, so yes, the console games are set up for coin hunting, but the arcade one is also set up for that, and there's more coins in the arcade game than the arcade. Oh, wait, sorry, there's more coins in the arcade version than the console version. But they're grouped together though, so I don't actually know if you have to find more spots. Like the coins will often be in lines. Yeah, I recognized you. What's up, man? The audio is all weird because of the FPS. But yeah, arcade is definitely geared towards just racing, obviously, because there's no other modes. You can't even race in reverse, which I think it would be able to handle pretty well. That gold guy right there is Spencer Lindsay. That's what I was told. Yeah, they got rid of a lot of the more out of the way areas. They got rid of the half pipe in track 3. And track 1 they got rid of that huge area, the seismonometron. And track 2 they got rid of a couple of little stunt areas. Yeah, they just ended up getting rid of all these neat areas, except for track 4, or sorry. God, this is another like area of this game that's like so annoying. Is like every single track was something else at some point. So if I say track 2, track 3, track 4, it's like, oh, what game, what track, what game? They're not even referred to that as like a word. Like even that's inconsistent. Like morning marina, noon height. I guess if you call them that, then it's a little bit easier to understand. But yeah, they got rid of a lot of neat areas in when they poured these tracks over to console, which is a bummer. And there's no remnants of that either. I've checked out the track models themselves, and there's nothing that would indicate they ever even existed. So they got rid of them very early on. Yep, yeah, the Atari logo was removed. What is going on? Side skirts. Oh yeah, they well, that entire area in, like, you're thinking of Dusk, right? Dusk Presidio. That entire area is completely different. And I believe they use the Rush the Rock stuff as a base. I think that's what they did. That area is entirely different up until where the roads start connecting. I'm trying to be more specific with that, but right when the lap becomes different, like lap 2, you know, lap 2 starts in a different area. So like right around there is like where it starts to be pretty much the same track, but yeah, it's a They used an entirely different model for that. They did not even try to salvage what they had. I think they just realized how bad it was. No, and what's unfortunate is in an interview, they said that they've seen the track too many times and they were tired of putting it in the game. Something along those lines. That's why it was never added. Real shame. Which, fair enough. We've seen it twice. You know, in the Rush 2 version of that track is very close to what the 2049 version is, with the exception of one shortcut. It's pretty much the exact same thing, though. It's coming from the left side. Oh, okay. That is an issue that I have that pops up every now and then. So, what is the fix for that? Let's see. Let me see. Yeah. Well, to be fair, it wasn't in the first one. This always happens, this audio thing. It's really annoying. Mono. Okay. There, I just turned it to mono. That's what my fix always is. For some reason, it always resets. Like at some point, maybe it'll last for like a month, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I could probably bring the audio down now because it might be a little bit louder now that it's not mono, or now that it is mono. Yeah, it was in Rush 2. It was in every single Rush game except for the very first one and the very last one. So it wasn't in San Francisco Rush on arcade. That's the first one. And then arguably the last game was 2049 Dreamcast and 64. It was not there either. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, that's where it originated from, was the Rush 1 N64, or the Rock, whatever one it was first, I forgot. I think it was by the arcade team though, wasn't it? And then the rest of the RTR tracks were the N64 guys. How's your hand doing, by the way? You told me your hand is all messed up. Sorry, I'm stuffing my face. Is your hand doing any better? Yeah, they wanted you to fall off on that version. I've never unlocked it before. Traditionally, I've used Game Shark to do it, but I've never been able to do it like you're supposed to. Yeah, that sucks. That's not good. A paint machine. You better get some workman comp from that, because that's their responsibility, not yours, to save their paint machines. Hey. Okay, later. Thanks for checking the stream out. Okay, hold on a second. I gotta restart the emulation. Yeah. Don't mention it. Any sort of injury like that sucks. Like, you don't realize how much you use your hand or arm until it gets broken, and then you're like, man, I can't use this for 2 months. Hated that when that happened to me. Well, they didn't work on those games. Steve and Aaron did not work on those games they were not on the console team. That was Log was there, and I don't know the others. Pappy, Todd Pappy. Somebody somewhere stated that they would have added those track. They would have retroactively added those tracks in. Why is it doing that? Hey. I don't know why it's automatically picking stuff for me. Holy cow. Are we good now? I don't know what that's about. Do you have video? Yeah, so someone sent me that video of those guys. Yeah, Pappyland is Todd Pappy. And Todd Pappy made that. If you want to know, he also made the track. So he was the single person who made track 7 according to the credits. He made track 7 in this game's in special edition, tournament edition. Wow. Okay, my controls are all scuffed right now. What is going on? But yeah, so that guy's really good at track design. And then there was 2 other people that made a team of 2 made track 6, but he made track 7 according to the credits here. And Todd Pappy nowadays, I think he worked on God of War. He's a big dude in the gaming corporate world now. But man, he could design a track. I guess that would explain why there's so many stunts in track 7, now that I think of it, because track 7 was kind of already made, it just the shortcuts weren't refined, and so Pappyland has all these crazy stunts and, corkscrews and ramps and, loops all around it. And that's what track 7 has going for it. It just has a bunch of loops and stunts that you're doing the entire time, so that makes sense. I'm figuring out my buttons, by the way. Something's going on with all these. Yeah, well, he designed the shortcuts, but the actual track itself was already made from. It was already in Dreamcast, but he supplemented it with his shortcuts. Someone did that? I'll comment on it also. I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works, but I think if you get enough comments, then it'll boost it in the search. If I can find it real quick. Let's see. Oh, whoa, no way. Yeah, I've seen your YouTube video before. A long time ago. Your song upload. So that song, I don't know if you know this, that song, that Rush the Rock Extended Edition, do you know where it came from? Because I do. I'm just wondering if you knew where it came from. This is going to blow your mind. I don't want to tell you just yet. All right, take care, man. Thanks for checking out the stream. It was really fun talking about all those games. So Scarlet Zero, do you know where that song originates from that you're talking about? The Alcatraz remix. Or actually, I'm curious, where did you get that song from? No, it's different. It's well, where did you rip it from? I don't know if it plays mirrored. Maybe it does play mirrored. Is that what it does? Holy crap. Okay, maybe it does play mirrored and I've never noticed. Let's see. No, okay, so there's, as far as I know, there's only one condition that plays that song. And I always thought it was a fan song, or like someone made it by combining a couple songs, but it's track 4, so you're right about that. It's track 4, but you have to... Shit. Hold on, I messed up. Okay, 75309. You type in Jenny's number in order to quit. So in order to get the song playing, you have to pick track 7, and it has to be... Oh, shit. It's got to be this car right here. The 10,000 mile car. And then it'll play it. But it plays really quietly. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. I'll be really quiet. Where is it? Where's the music? I don't have the music button mapped, I guess. There it is. So it's the 10,000 mile car is what unlocks it. But how did you get that song? Did you rip it from the hard drive? Oh, you know what? You could have grabbed it from the website, too. That's an option. Oops. The Rock. Yeah, whatever. Atari building. What are you talking about? Okay, so the thing about that is it says like there's websites that'll say that code does unlock it. I think that's from people using that code a lot and then racking up enough miles, because I think on a clean install of this game it doesn't actually unlock it. There's just a bunch of profiles, but there is a cop car profile. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Here, I can go back here. They left a lot of these areas. What the heck? Hmm. There's no way in heck I'm getting this shortcut. Yeah, the skybox. This isn't happening. There's no way. Not going fast enough. Oh, wow. No. So, good question. I don't know, because the hard drive that it uses is like 20 gigabytes, and the game is only around 1 or 2 gigabytes. So it takes a really long time for that to happen, but I don't know what happens. Good question. It's got to be some sort of data overflow. Or maybe it just doesn't even, maybe it just fails to write. If I had to guess, that could be the case too. I got back in here. I'm not going that fast. Yeah, well, it's realistically it's not, but it could still happen. It's an option. Yeah, well, people were paying a premium, I guess. I don't know how much money this game was at retail. Darn, that sucks. Yeah, this track is really cool. Oops. I don't know how this thing opens up and closes. I know it's timed, but I don't know when it would open back up. But you can race these tracks 8 laps, and I think this opens up seemingly like every other lap, as long as you're fast enough. Yeah, that's a good video. I think that's the guy who made that video. It's every other lap if you're on a good run, but if you're on a bad run, it's the first and second, and not the third lap, like what happened to me. So it's on some sort of timer. So this that guy, like I was mentioning, I think the guy that made that video of the McLaren on track 7, I think he was a friend of the devs that got like first-hand experience with the game before it released. Yeah, well, it's okay. It depends on how fast you're going, but typically, because it's on a timer, but typically, yeah, it's lap 1 and 3. But if you lag behind, it'll be 1 and 2. And if you're really bad, if you're really lagging behind, I guess it'll be just 2. Yeah. Yeah, I think that one is only lap 2. I can do an 8-lap race, which we can see how, like, when these things are opened. Oops, hold on. Come on. Okay, I gotta reboot the game again. It's a little tricky to, oops, let's see. There we go. So we'll do 8 laps here. 8 for all of them, might as well. No. Okay. These button inputs are so weird. Okay. There we go. And then yeah, as long as you beat the subway in that shortcut lap 2, like you said. Turn on the checkpoint sound. I don't know if, I think it's still in the game, isn't it? That'd be weird if I never noticed that. I think the checkpoint sound is still in the game. It should still be in there. Are you talking about the little ding sound? Little, because it says checkpoint still, but I guess it's missing the ding sound, right? That it used to make? Siren type thing? I don't know what you call it. I never noticed that. What the heck? Yeah. Wow, I've never noticed that it's that's gone. Yeah, you're right. It's not here. Is it in the track 1 or the original tracks, like track 1 through 5? I wonder if they thought it was redundant. It's already saying track, but it's already saying checkpoint. You don't need to hear an additional sound. Oops. Huh. Interesting. Here's something that's funny. You guys know about this area? Oops. I blew up spontaneously. I wonder if it plays here. No, yeah, you're right. They got rid of it. Huh. Yeah, that's so bizarre. I think I know the 2 coins are missing because Stig only had 96 coins, and I found 2 of them, and I think someone else found the other. I think it was Darth Marino, and so I can show you the 2 that I found. It's like a 50-50 chance that you're missing the ones that I found. Or, okay, let's see. Can I even... Oh, no, never mind. Here. No, there's not an option for that. The settings are really limited. It's just the amount of laps, the difficulty, which is the amount of time you get per checkpoint, the drone difficulty, the coins used, or if it's on free play mode. You can wipe records, you can check statistics, and is there any others? It's very limited. Like, you can't give yourself all the cars or tracks or anything like that. Yeah, here, I'll show you where the last 2 possibly are. Yeah. There's all sorts of stuff in this area. I wish this game wasn't so blocked off like it is. Like, there's lots of barriers that... It'd be fun if they weren't there. Do you guys know about the helipad in Track 6? In Dawn? Shoot. Yeah, I can show you where it is. It's in Dreamcast, and there's a coin there, but in the arcade. See, I'm bad on time. I missed the first one. Yeah, you'd know if you've seen it before. It's a really high up building in Track 6 that you can't get to normally. but they left a couple of backwards shortcuts in. Meant to for the backwards races in Dreamcast. They left some of those in a special edition, tournament edition. That closed up too. So because they left those in, I can show you guys if you don't want to. I'm just gonna try to do it right now. If you want to find it for yourself, just like don't watch for like the next 3 minutes, but it's not too special. There's nothing here in this version of the game, but it's still there. Yeah, I'll show it. Okay. I'll possibly miss the jump. It's right here. Darn, I missed it. But you can get up here. That's kind of cool. This track has 0 like hidden coins. They're all on the main track. As long as you hit all the shortcuts, you get all the coins. So it's kind of a bummer that they didn't use the helipad, you know, for some coins. Yeah, what's up, Josh? Just playing some special edition now. Oops. I'm gonna try to get up there one more time. Yeah, it's such a random thing that exists right there. Oh shoot, I did not select advance, so I probably can't get there. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah, it's still there. I find it so funny that's still there. Mm-hmm. There's no way that was fast enough, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, people like watching rush races a lot. Like, if you notice, some of them get a lot of views. Okay. We gotta do advanced. Even some of my races, which are, you know, mediocre, I'm not setting any records or anything like that, but even some of my races on my channel have a lot of views. Surprisingly. Alright. This is it. Come on. Don't know if that's enough. No! Oh, wait. No, that's so close. I don't know if I have enough time to do a couple laps and then try again. Nope, that's not good. Nope. Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. No coins. You can also turn down the difficulty, rather. You can turn the difficulty down and do it that way. Alright, anyway, that's that. No extreme. Yeah, the frame rate doesn't really matter. The frame rate is a result of the MAME trying to emulate the exact architecture of everything, but so it tries to replicate all the frame drops too, I think. Where's my music? Yeah. Nice. This game is so hard on a controller. I'm using a GameCube controller, by the way. This entire time. No wheel yet. Stig? Yeah, he did, I think he committed suicide in 2018? One of those years. Yeah, it's really sad. Man, if he would have just stuck around a bit longer, he would have seen that there's like so many fans of this game. He probably just felt really alone. I don't know. So, yeah, sad story. I'm just sad I never got to meet him. But he lives on. He lives on through the password that we use. Yeah, I want to get a forced feedback wheel. Some people are recommending me some pretty good stuff. Thrustmaster. Oops. I wonder if I can do the jump here. Nope, that's not the jump. That is not the jump. No, not at all. It is not going to cut it, you're right. Yes, yeah. Steve is the developer. Stig is someone who set a lot of records and owned his own Rush machine, and we use his profile. He was the original person to dump Special Edition. So that's why we can all use Stig's profile, is because the main devs basically immortalized his hard drive. No! Oh my gosh, I barely hit the wall right there, and I didn't want to touch the control stick. Yep. Yeah, he used a very long, long profile. Oh, you don't like the forced feedback, huh? So that specific forced feedback, or you just don't like forced feedback in general? Oh, cool. I don't know what that is, but that sounds cool. Very neat. The barrier to entry for a racing wheel is what gets me, so that's why I haven't committed to one yet, because they're like $200 to $300 for a good one. Steve is cool. Last I spoke with him, it was really awkward, because he was like, hey, are you the guy that's been punking Aaron Hightower? Aaron Hightower's going through his own debacle, too. I'm not going to get into that, but basically, Steve thought I was punking Aaron Hightower, like pranking him. And I was like, no, that's not me. We just have similar names. Like, I mean, I can't help that my parents named me Steven, so Steven 2049 is also already taken, but I think the clutch does work that way. I'm used to not using the clutch for any of the shortcuts. You don't actually have to use it for anything in order to get fast times. Anyway, so that happened. last messages we exchanged from each other were, are you pretending to be me? And I was like, no. But we're friends on Discord, me and Steve, and I think Aaron also. I just don't talk with them all that much. They got their own lives, you know. Steve is such a cool guy to talk to. Belt driven. Oh, okay. So I think belt driven is that's the good kind, right? Like that's what you want for Rush 2049. The Stig, yeah. That name is not allowed to be used. I mean, just kidding. If someone wants to use it, go ahead. But yeah. So he's the guy that makes it so we can use all the cars. What a trooper, dude. So this is lap 3? Okay, got it. I understand now. It is the better force feedback. I see. Gotcha. Oh. Here, okay, here's where 2 of the coins were that you could be missing. Oops. Actually, there's not even enough time. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know how I feel about those games. Maybe I haven't given them enough time, but I just didn't feel like they're... Really? Okay, great games. Interesting. I have Distance on Steam. I've tried to give it a fair shot, and I just don't think I like it. Cool, though. Yeah, that's really nice of him to do that. There we go. So this is lap 4. Is there a coin up there that I was missing? Yeah, so Stig never found 4 coins in this track. Yeah, I never really understood the point of those games. Maybe that's where I was stuck with them. Like, I just kind of felt like it was racing and it felt easy. Oh, shoot. Nope, that's not a profile. Let's get those other Stig coins. Yeah, that sounds and people would be playing them too. That's an I don't want to say like I've had that idea too, but like it would be cool to be able to have machines you could take to conventions at least. I think that's where my line of thinking was, but like even if you had like 4 of them, you know, you can take them to conventions, have cash tournaments. It'd be really cool to have the tournament mode unlocked, which you cannot unlock as far as I know. Yeah, yeah. I remember the wings in that game, and it was cool. There's a lot of areas you could drive to. Nice, Josh. I look forward to it, because you're really good at racing. You're a lot better than I am. Yeah, I think someone made the Gauntlet track too, right? Didn't someone do that? Nice. Yeah, it'd be cool to be able to take those and just have tournaments with him. Even like a con, like taking it to I don't know if they take it. Yeah, like Comic Con. I don't know, some sort of like convention. Just convention hop with those things and get people to race. I don't think I'm the person for that. Just I don't know. I feel like I just do other things, but I would definitely participate in that. Yeah, there's a straight remake of Gauntlet, which is so cool. Yeah, Josh, man, you freaking you go to town on these games. Do I have a Discord? Yeah. Hold on a second. So, join. That's our Discord. That's where all of us are. So most of the people here in chat are in Team Rush, and so it's me. I'm the owner. There's two admins. So I don't know if you've seen PK Supra or Dev Guy Blake. They're on YouTube also, especially PK Supra, but he's one of the admins. So that's our little group that we got. We got the cool vanity URL. Dude, yeah, I agree with you. Those arcade racers, like Need for Speed, Cruisin', Fast and Furious, because isn't Fast and Furious just Cruisin', like the same people who made it? I hate those. I don't. Hate is a strong word, but I really do not find the enjoyment out of racetracks that are like module based. Like these racetracks have like maybe 10 to 15 different modules, and they just arrange them in different ways. That's what Cruisin' does. So you end up driving across the same like areas several times before the race finishes. They don't feel like real racetracks at all. Dude, okay, not Pepsi guy. There's a few of the. Hey, he's all right, but some of these guys would leave comments after comments. I'm like, it's hard to reply to all of them. Oh, I can still race. Yeah. Well, my frustration with Fast and Furious is that there's effectively no level design. They turned the racing game from like the priority was the cars, like in Fast and Furious, whereas in Rush the priority is definitely the tracks. That's where they put all the main focus on. But in Fast and Furious, they're like, no, you can unlock a spoiler, you can unlock nitrous oxide, you can unlock rims. Like it just yeah, hardly any creativity. That's a good point. And so Cruisin', Fast and Furious, they have a bunch of set pieces that you drive through, and you can drive through the same set pieces over and over again, basically. Rush is not that at all. Rush is a fully 3D modeled racetrack that was they did a lot of work on. They didn't work on like little sections, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the 2 coins that I think you're missing. And if you're not missing these, then I have no idea which ones they could be. I didn't want to do it right after I sent the Discord link, so I'll do it now. Oops. That is a tough turn to make. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the way they made those games, and a lot of racing arcade games are made in that way instead of the approach that they took with Rush. There's not a whole lot of games out there that are like Rush. Daytona, I would say, is actually closer to Rush than it is to the others. Yeah. That's the best way I can think of it, really. They put a lot of thought into the way the tracks were arranged, because they had to work with the entire 3D model. I recall that Steve calls the roads ribbons. When they were modeling them, they used open flights. And so the very first thing they would do is make the ribbons. So that was the actual track that you drive on. And then they would model around that. Yeah. Cruisin' World and USA were okay. And then Exotica was just kind of weird. Right, yeah. Like this stuff. Like, you're not gonna find this. Like, the jumps like that in Fast and Furious. You're just not gonna find that. Okay, anyway, so, Scarlet Zero, your coins that you're looking for should be around here. So, one of the areas I'm thinking of is in this tunnel. And if you were to drive like this... Yeah, see, there's two right there. I don't know if you caught that. There's two. That's the entrance. That's right at the entrance. And then if I were to go a little bit further... I think there's more here. Maybe not. No, maybe not. See, I don't know where the other two are that Stig is missing. But I know where those are. Yeah. Well, it's a nice shortcut. Oh, shoot. I make it? No, that wasn't fast enough. World is really cool. World on N64 has a lot going for it. And the Exotic was just a really anticlimactic way to end the 3 games. Something about it was just weird. I don't know what it is. I think it was just too zany. And, don't know. Anything back here, maybe? Wow. You go there. Oh, there's nothing there. Yeah. Well, that's the problem with coins, is you don't know where the ones you're missing are because they're missing. If you knew, then you'd be able to get them. Yeah, okay. I'm glad you brought that up, Low Tide, because that's what I mean by Rush's presentation is pretty timeless. They didn't have like those racing girls there either, like those I don't know what you call them. You know, they have those checkered flags and they flag you down. Like, it just, I'm just kind of glad that in the long run they didn't do anything weird like that. I mean, it's not weird, it's just like don't know how to explain that one either. That's a tough one. But I'm glad that wasn't like a focus in Rush. I don't know, it seems like it would just be kind of tacky here. You know, if they had like some sort of flag girl right here. Ready? Set? Like, I don't know, that'd be like really tacky right here. It makes more sense how they have it now. I don't know. I don't know if you agree. But the games themselves are alright. The N64 version of Cruis'n USA is really annoying to 100%. Yeah. Yeah, especially with like Rush, where you have to focus on like you have to have like 100% focus on the game. Yeah, tacky. Like I don't know how else to describe it. It's just really corny. Like so, let's see. How many frames have I dropped so far since I've streamed? It's not too bad, I guess. Not too bad. 30,000 frames. You say it was cool. So on N64, if you want 100% it, you have to beat the main campaign 21 times. Which is really rough. Yeah. Yeah, they were book definition repetitive. And they do not skip a beat not being repetitive. Like they make that very apparent. Yeah. Yeah, you don't need a break. Good point. Yeah, like when you finish a race in Cruis'n USA, like, there's a certain sequence that's just like that lasts a little bit too long for it to be comfortable. So that's Cruis'n USA on N64. So each car, there's 7 cars that you can race, and each car has 3 unlockable paint jobs. And in order to unlock one, you have to beat the campaign, the Cruise the USA, which is I think 12 or 13 tracks. So you have to do that for every single paint job unlock, which is 21 paint jobs. Oh man, dude, that's a grind. It's a mind-numbing grind. Yeah, and then in World 2, there's another grind, and you have to get 10,000 points for I think it's a McLaren, right? The McLaren is always the final unlockable in these 90s arcade racers. So I think, yeah, it's like this super fast car you get, and I think the last unlock before that you get is at 500 points. So you have to get 10,000, some crap like that. It's ridiculous. Oh, I don't know that one. In the Atari 1040 ST, don't know that one. Yeah, there's not enough time in the world to make me want to do that sort of thing in that game. Oh yeah, exactly. Use cheats, 100%. There's all the cool albums that we're trying to track down. Oh yeah, so if you're I assume Scarlet, I assume you're newer to the Discord server. If you did just join, we do a lot of tracking down of assets, like textures or fonts, sometimes audio samples. So we do have channels dedicated to that, which is pretty cool. Power metal. As in the music genre? Like Dragon Force and Camelot, those guys? I know some power metal music. I don't listen to it though. Yeah, yeah. They give you like 1 or 2 points each time. Oh, cool. Yeah, so one of the things that we do, I mean, you can just like check it out for yourself and just see what's going on. There's a really cool tab in there called, is it preservation? Let's see. I think it's let's see. So in the research tab, there's a lot of stuff that we're tracking down, like fonts. That I do have a page up there with all the fonts that have been found so far. There's a lot of them. So, but there's still some that we're missing. Oh yeah, so that wasn't me. That was that's NES GB in the server, and he just went through the hard drive of RTR, and it's just in there. It's such a weird song. All right, thanks for sticking around. See ya, man. Shoot, I'm not going fast. Yeah, it's just in there. And I guess the song loops prematurely. There's no other explanation for it, really. Oh yeah, the power music. Power music. So one of the things that we were trying to track down are all these album covers, and so we know 4 of them, but we don't know all of them yet. But you can see there's 4 in one of those channels. We have them listed. One of them's pretty obvious, the Massive Attack album. That's the easiest one. Ouch. Yeah. Yeah, and then there's a Deep Purple album. Chris Ree, is that how you say it? Is it Chris Ree? Rhea? I don't know. And then what's the last one? Joy Division. But then there's some others in there that might not even be album covers. There's one that I'm sure is not an album cover, that Loser one. But we found the font. So, let's see. The channel I was talking about specifically is Research, sorry, not that one. It's Rush Sources. So if you scroll all the way to the very top of Rush Sources, you'll see the list of all of the stuff that's been found that's relevant to the creation of either assets or, well, generally assets, yeah, I would say. Just the creation of Rush assets, like music, textures, 3D models. I've never, I know some Joy Division songs, but yeah, I don't know like the earlier stuff, so I should probably give that a listen. Shoot. I don't know who he is, but rip Ian Curtis indeed. Unfortunate. Oh, that's at a late age. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, people don't normally do that type of thing at 78. That's really weird. They are. I don't know what you're asking. All the marquees. I don't know if we have. We might have scans of the marquees, or the main Alcatraz addiction. No. The you're are you saying the red car with the stripe, or like the green rush car, right? No, look this car up. You're gonna be blown away. Look up, what's it called? Hold on. I have to type it in first because I forget what it is. Shoot, what is that car called? No, there's a closer car. Okay, it's called a Lowtech Sirius. This is the rush car here. There's no way you can say it's not. It's so close. And what Spence was saying, the lead art guy, he was saying that I asked him, I was like, when you came up with all the cars, did you look through exotic car magazines? Which is a very that's kind of a specific question, but that's what I suspected, and he said yes. So, and this was a concept car that was finally made in 2000s, like in the early 2000s, but the actual concept of it was incepted in the early 90s or mid 90s, I believe, which would make it so, yeah, it would appear that it's there, or it would appear that this is the car that inspired the Rush car. So yeah, look up Lowtech Sirius. I just put it in the chat. That is the car. That's the Rush car. And the exotic car, the other extreme car, is, as far as I know, that one is agreed upon as the... it's a Bugatti EB110, I think. Bugatti, is that what it is? That's what people kind of generally agree on. The other extreme car, the Lowtech Sirius, that's what I think it is. There's some people that think it's other cars, so there's not like a general consensus there. But I do believe it's the Lowtech that I just posted. It's so close. Yeah, right. That makes sense. But I think the actual the concept of it was in magazines before the game came out. Anyway, so that's just a theory. Maybe if it didn't look as close as it does, I would be more inclined to believe it's another car, but it's literally it. Yeah, the Super GT in 2049 is the old exotic car. They reuse a lot of the art stuff from the old exotic to make it, especially the red one. The red one in particular is the first Super GT. As far as the development timeline goes, the red and gray Gonzo one is the first one. Yeah, I think they just have a bunch of like scanned pictures or something. I don't think they put too much thought into that. Like, oh, it's a car game, let's just see some cars. Let's just color them funky colors. Yeah, it's like too close to it for it to not be the Rush car. And I know there's no way in heck that the Rush car inspired that design. Like, that's not how car designs work. I don't think. And I've tried to send emails out to people just to confirm, and it's usually 50-50 with that. So I've sent an email out to the person who modeled a lot of the cars. So I haven't gotten a response, but with Spencer Lindsay, he said... Spencer Lindsay's the guy who says 3-2-1 Rush. He's the announcer guy, but also did a lot of the art. He said that they did look at a lot of old exotic car magazines. So I got no idea, basically. But I think it is it. Another thing to point out is the marketing material for the Rush games didn't finalize until nearly the game came out, as far as I know. If you look at the Rush beta footage, the car doesn't even appear. And I do have a video of beta cars driving around. And in the second Extreme car is not there. Neither is the first Extreme car, actually. It's shoot, I don't even remember what cars do appear. Alright, well I was gonna do a paint job, but maybe I'll save that for another time. I've got to do like some final stuff, which is annoying. Just kind of wanted this to distract me from doing my finals. Oh, did he make a Rush post on Instagram and someone asked about the low-tech? Yeah, people hypothesize that. I actually don't think that's true. I think it was the only reason I don't think they use that is because the gap between I think they just model the car very similarly. All right, take care, Low Tide. Because what would have to happen is they would have had to save that car model and been like, okay, well, you know what, maybe we'll use it for a different date. And then Rush 2 is coming along. And then you give them that. And then also it's not being used in Rush the Rock. So I don't know. I just don't think it's like a 50-50 to me. Maybe it was used, but I don't know how feasible that would have been. Later, Low Tide. I already said that earlier, but see ya again. You as well. Take care. With your hand. With your unfortunate smushed hand. Shoot. Yeah, that's the only thing that gives people some doubt is the date in which the car was actually made. But if we could find old magazine scans, like old Car and Driver magazines or other popular exotic magazines, honestly, you didn't miss out on much. We've just been talking. I haven't even done the paint job thing yet. Welcome to the chat. But yeah, that's the only thing that makes it, that leaves it up in the air is the fact that it was, the car was finally made in the 2000s or 2001. Maybe it's 2002. But the concept itself was around in the early 90s. Yeah. I guess if you work backwards too, I find it really strange that a video game car modeler made a car design that is really, really similar to a car that came out 5 years later. What the heck? That's not supposed to happen, is it? Like when you abort... What? That doesn't normally happen. Does it? When you abort, does everything freeze? Oh, now I couldn't tell. Hmm. So if you follow the logic back, it seems very strange that a car modeler for a video game would get a car's, like a Future Cars design perfectly. It's got the same details in the front. The back is the only difference, but instead of it being 6 taillights, it's only 2. But the taillight shape is exactly the same too. Oh. Nice. Yeah, I think that comes from playing Ghost Mode, that quote. Huh? Alright. I didn't think I hit that, but maybe I did. I mean, that would just be weird. It just... Because cars are usually designed to be aerodynamic and everything's just supposed to make sense. So it'd be really strange if they made a car based off of a video game. Shoot. No, that's not it. That's not good. Oh. Uh-oh. Well, I'm out of time. Let's see. I might be able to do that. So it's this view, and you just hit the same view button as you press to get to it. Is that blood splat here? It's not. Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah. Sky. Did I do anything with Ellie? Not yet, and I might just save that for next week or next time I turn on the stream. Because I'm getting tired and I gotta do a final. I've just been kind of messing around and talking about it. We were talking about other games at one point, and then now we're kind of just talking about like where things came from in Rush. So yeah, I haven't touched it at all this stream. Whoa, what is that on that? Holy crap, I never noticed that on the building there. Yeah. I was talking about some of the paint jobs and stuff that were already done. And I might just combine the update into, instead of just doing one track and one car, it's probably just going to be 2 tracks and 2 cars, or more than that. It's just been so long since I've done a big update. So, and I don't know if it's going to be a send-off type update, but the way the code, I just want to drive around this area first, actually. It's kind of cool. But the way the executable is set up, it's very annoying, or how it was compiled. So if I want to make some serious changes, like I still haven't even figured out how to change a default song for tracking. So it's just very difficult to figure all that out. Yeah. Yeah, is that what that is? I never noticed. Here, let's see. Who's the guy on the left? Who's that? Oh yeah, so one of the pieces of news is I can rip textures. It's a very slow process, but I can rip... What is that? But I just can't rip car textures. Or if I do, they're not one-to-one. RJD? Who is that? What the heck? Just a lot of little things around this area. So, Jimi Hendrix. Oh, okay, that's cool. But yeah, so I can actually rip textures unless they're from cars. They're not one-to-one. So that's exciting. I just haven't done it yet. What does that say? Dance, dance, dance. Cool. Alright. What is that thing? Alright. That's the crazy thing about racing games. They throw the weirdest things at you. What is this? Huh. Whatever. I don't think there's anything here. This gold dude, that's Spencer Lindsay, in case you guys didn't know. That's Spence. That's the guy who says 3, 2, 1 rush. Maybe LE should bring back the Pussycat Doll poster, huh? It's probably what's missing from that. If there's anything missing from that, it's that. But yeah, so Slim Jimmy's. Oh yeah, from Stunt. Yeah. Slim Jim from Stunt Track. Oops. I don't know what it is. My throttle button just doesn't go all the way. I don't think you can go over here either. Yeah, they blocked that off. This leads to nothing. Oh, no, I don't recognize that building either. Is this in... I don't think this is in the regular game. Is it? Do not recognize that. Yeah. Yeah, voice of 1, 2, 3 Rush. Yeah. It wouldn't feel the same if he said 1, 2, 3 Rush, but I know where you're coming from. Yeah, that's the guy that's the announcer. That gold statue. And then this guy. Oh, it's track 3, okay. I wasn't sure. This guy is their boss at one point. I don't know who it was, but this would be such a weird thing to find the source on. Yeah, that guy right there. That's their boss. No, it's okay. I was just playing around. So yeah, he sounds good. He sounds really good. He even gave us like a year or two ago. He gave us like a revised 3, 2, 1 Rush, and I think I have it recorded still. So this guy is their. Let me get a nice view of this. Okay, that guy is their boss. Some sort of higher up at Atari that they didn't like, and so the way they they took it out on him was to immortalize him in the game. Yeah. Some sort of Atari exec or higher up or something. So that would be fun to find the source. That also, wait, hold on a second. That might be the Loser poster, or the Loser album cover. Let's see. So, let's see. I wonder if that's that guy right there. And that, by the way, we have found that it does say Loser. And the font that they use is, let's see. I think it starts with an H. Yeah. It's called Hirosh. And let's see. No, I don't think I posted about it, but so it does say Loser in a super weird looking font, like a Japanese looking font. But this guy, I've been trying to find the background photo and I cannot find it. So I'm wondering if that's another like Atari exec or if that's the same guy. Don't know. Do not know. As far as the other albums go, we've got. It's like if I were to pause here. That was found. No, that's not found. That is found. That's found. That's an obvious one. That's found. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Now they just repeat. Or to go back. Shoot. Please be merciful, trolley of doom. Okay, so here, let's get a good look at this. We have that one. Do not have that, do not have that, do not have that, do not have that, do not have that. This, what does that say? That says midnight. The open. Oh, maybe it says open till midnight. Yeah, open till midnight. That's pretty obvious. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Don't know the font, but that's what that says. Don't know. What is that? It's so hard to get a good view. There's a better picture of all these together, by the way, but I just don't know what this is. It's like a negative of someone's head. Kind of looks like Steve in a way, but. I think my game restarted. Was I messing with it too many times? I gotta restart it. Yeah, so that album hunt has been wild. He'd be a good commentator for motorsports. He's a really cool guy. Talking to him. There's a video of him talking to a guy at a bar, and like the guy was recording him playing Rush the Rock, and then Spencer comes up. He's like, "Hey, do you like the game?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I worked on it." And so they just talk for 20 minutes on video. It's really cool. I should probably favorite it or something. Well, I really don't know what else to do right now. I'm not gonna do a paint job stream just because it's late now. But it is kind of fun to drive around and find all these little Easter eggs. So I'm gonna call it in 10 minutes. I'm just gonna end the stream. For me, it'd be 8 p.m. For you guys, it'd be a nice rounded number, like 9 or 10. What does that say? Tropicana Hotel. Did not know that was a sign. All these little details. It's very important that we get all these because I do want to start modeling higher resolution, or at least get like nice pre-rendered photos at much higher resolution than what's in this game so far. But to actually, yeah, I can play Rush the Rock. I think let's see if I have it set up. No, I don't have it set up. I used to have it, and what happened was I switched my system. Yeah, California. I switched my. You can probably tell by the way I talk. I switched my operating system from Windows 10. I was pretty disenfranchised by Windows crap, and so I just went over to Linux. And so I started using Linux for around 3 months, and I still have it. That's my main install, and I still use it for a lot of stuff. But if I want to do game modding, I just have a much better workflow on Windows. That's the only reason why I'm here, but I'm not on Windows 10 or anything like that. Or I'm not on Windows 11. I am on 10. But yeah, so don't know what the future holds for these games. I would love to at least start making 3D recreations of the tracks, and there's not really a good driving engine to port them to though. So I just mod the GameCube game instead. That's the easiest to mod because we have access to the file system. What does that say? I've never actually stopped to look around and see what all these things say. Wash and fold, huh? The only difference between tracks 6 and 7 and the original tracks that are in this game is that 6 and 7 don't really have all these little hidden details that you can stop and observe. Oh, okay, just guessing based on time zone, yeah. Oh, fair enough. That's cool. That's where Spencer lives, I believe, Seattle. He's either in Seattle or he's in somewhere in Oregon, but I think he's up there. It's really interesting how they what happened, but basically what happened was Hot Rod Rebels was really deep into development, and the video that we have, which is like, it shows the latest spot they were in development at the time, but that doesn't do it enough credit. According to Steve, they were way further in development than the video that we have. Anyway, so what happened was Atari just stopped all of their funding and just told them all, like, hey, you guys are all fired because this isn't a division that we're working with anymore. And so that cabinet went to a collector. And so those guys didn't want to work for any... some of them moved on to Rockstar. I think it was split like 3 ways. So like some of them went to Rockstar, some of them went to Global VR. That was with Steve. Steve and Aaron went that way. And some of them just outright quit. And the ones that did go to Rockstar, most of them didn't last long because they didn't like how the quotas were. But it's just really sad what happened, basically. But so that's the story on how everything just kind of broke apart. So that's why there's no Hot Rod Rebels. I don't know if you know about that game, but that's supposed to be the sequel to this game. It was supposed to be the sequel. It's just unfortunate because they had a really good thing going here. Oh, shoot. Nice. No. Oh, you know, one more thing I'll talk about. The reason I can't pull textures yet from cars is because when the cars drive around, how come they didn't bring this track with the donut? Because I think Tournament Edition was developed by a different team than Hot Rod Rebels. There wasn't any overlap, so they didn't just think to do it for a track 8. Oh yeah, 2 things I'll do as an extra. I'll show you what track 8 is in this game. I don't know if you've seen track 8 before, but there is a track 8. So anyway, the reason why I can't pull textures from cars at the moment is because if you notice the reflection, like the way the car reflects lights, there's 2 reflections going on. So at any given time, a car is going to have one of 2 reflections. There's one that's like a very standard one, which is the one that's being used now. And then there's one that's used for interiors. And how they decide that is they use a Boolean, which is Boolean's like the finest point of, it's just binary, just 1 or 0. So if it's a 0, it's this reflective material. If it's 1, which, like, I guess the track environment tells the car you're gonna use 1 or you're gonna use 0. So then it'll tell it to use the other one. But if you notice, when I go back and forth between this building here and outside, notice how it's like changes the reflection here immediately. So up here, it changes it back to the outside one. If I go up, So because of that, I can't really get full one-to-one textures. I can get approximations, but there's that. Billy and Mandy. I never watched. I'm not really a cartoon watcher, but I do know the show. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So anyway, that's why I can't pull these one-to-ones because of these reflective materials, and I have not found an area in the game where you can where there's no reflective material. I think there always is one. All right, I'll show you track 8, and then I'm gonna go. But let's see if I can do this. Oops. I'm using Cheat Engine, by the way. So I'm gonna have to pause the game a couple times before. Yeah, well, that dream is half true. There is a track 8. So wait till you see what it is. It's actually a different track. So I just got to do some stuff to it. It's not a prank at all. There actually is a track 8. So let's see. I have to do some pauses. Okay. Oops. The reason why there's a track 8 is just because I guess there was one in Rush the Rock also, but I don't know which track that is. But it's for development reasons. They've just always had that amount of tracks. I think in Rush the Rock or in the original Rush, it was like a leftover for just development tracks. Yeah. I'm doing some narrowing down. Actually, hold on a second. I gotta quit my Cheat Engine instance. Something's going on with it. Hold on a second. I'll have to control delete. Okay. Stream is still up, right? I'm not pranking you. There actually is a track 8. So NES was the one that showed me this one. And that server. I'll latch it onto MAME. Searching for, let's see. Okay, there we go. Now it's not. Oops. Okay. So I should be able to do it. Let's see. Now I just gotta figure out which one it is. Nope. Come on, where is it? You'll see, like the game will start to freak out. Nope. I might have to go back to this menu. Don't have enough time. Oh, you know what? Okay. Nope. I don't think that's it either. Don't know why I'm having a hard time finding this one. Usually I can find it pretty quickly. But I don't have the address responsible for the track selection written down. There it is. I think that's it. I think. Maybe not. Is it? No? Oops. Come on, where is it? I'm not leaving until I get it. Yeah, okay. Wait, I found it. Okay. I found it. All right, here we go. So hold on a second. I gotta go back here, but that's it. So if I were to boot up now, watch what happens. Here we go. This is it. Track 8. Here it is. There you go. Track 8, baby. So we don't know how to actually get it working right, but well, I'll show you the track mode here. There you go, track 8. Oh, there's 4 secret cars in Cruis'n Exotica. Arcade or N64? Because that's really cool. No secret cars in Rush 2049, but there's a spot for a car 12, just because Rush the Rock has a 12 car. But yeah, so anyway. So the reason why track 2 from RTR is here is because that's what they use to test the cars out, or I guess the engine out. That's what Steve said. So you can watch the cars freak out. I wonder if nah, never mind. Yeah, so we can't figure out how to actually get the game wanting to function yet. Like, and let us drive around, but there's collision. Hey, no. Yeah, you got like 0.1 second to maneuver around. There you go. See, it works for a little bit until they start to try to abort, and then once they abort, it's gone. They don't know what to do. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be really cool to yeah, well, I mean, those are pretty easy to find. You just kind of move around. You like keep on selecting different cars, and then you'll eventually get it. Arcade version. That's interesting. Didn't know that. The Phantom car. Yes. Oh yeah. There are unlockables in SE and TE, but like we know what all these cars are. And I've gone through all the data. These are all the cars here. So there's 2 for this car. There's 4 here. There's 4 here. 4 there. And there's 8 of these. 8 of these cars. 8 of these. 7 of these. 6 of these. 7 of these. And then 6 of these cars. And I've gone through all of the graphical data. So these cars on Car Select are not actually 3D models. They are pre-renders. It's just frames of a video being played. So that's why you can see so many cars at once here on this menu. They're not actually loading all these 3D models. It's just certain points of a video, essentially. It's really good. It's genius what they did. Yeah. I won't forget my final. Like, don't worry about that. That thing is just gnawing on the back of my mind. But yeah. So there's 11 cars in total. When you play SE for the first time, you only have 10 cars. So the 7 from Rush 2049, and then the 3 starting from TE. There's only 1 unlockable. But yeah. Oh yeah, no problem. It's fun to break it down like this. I want to start doing this like every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks or something, just because it's fun to kind of discover this stuff. I've been messing with these games for a while, so I got a lot of knowledge about all this stuff, and yeah, so fun talking about it. All right, see you guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll do one more for good measure. One more track 8 attempt. They don't work. Does not work, but it's fun to see it. Get me in on a race in track 8. Oh, that's a bummer. All right. See you guys.